Montez Sweat, defensive end from Mississippi State University, started off his collegiate career at a different university and at a different position. He was recruited as a tight end coming out of high school and made the transition to defense as a freshman in 2015 while at Michigan State University. After being suspended for most of the following season, Sweat left Michigan State in the spring and ended up at Copiah Lincoln Junior College in Weston, Mississippi. After one very productive season there, Sweat accepted an offer from Mississippi State University and was a first-team All-SEC selection in his first season in Starkville. Sweat had a very productive senior season, registering 12.5 sacks and earning a trip to the Senior Bowl. He also received an NFL Combine invite, and at the NFL Combine, Sweat ran a 4.41 and 40-yard dash, which is a combine record for defensive linemen. Sweat is looking like he'll be a first-round pick in the upcoming NFL draft, so let's take a look at him and see if he has what it takes to play at the next level. Montez Sweat has a great-looking frame, standing at 6'6" and 260 pounds. He's a very tall, long, and lean individual. He honestly doesn't look like he has an ounce of fat on his body. He has freakishly long arms, which allow him to use his hands to control blocks and prevent linemen from getting their hands inside his frame. This also allows him to set the edge at the point of attack effectively and not get knocked back. Sweat is a really good athlete at the defensive end position. He'll no doubt be better athletically than a majority of the tackles that he'll be lined up against. He has an excellent burst and quickness off the ball. His first step is tremendous, and he has the ability to put a lot of tackles in conflict based on how quick his get-off is. It'll be tough for tackles to recover against him because of that initial quickness and his length. He also covers a lot of ground with his long legs and stride. This is a tremendous advantage for him. As I mentioned before, Sweat has a very lean frame and he doesn't appear to be an overly big or strong guy. On certain occasions, he does a very good job of setting the edge and holding his own. This is evident against tight ends, who he'll be lined up against a lot. He's able to use his long arms and strength to get really good knockback against them. Once he's up against bigger and stronger tackles, he isn't able to duplicate that as consistently. On some occasions, he can get overwhelmed and knocked back himself. I noticed this specifically in the Alabama and Ole Miss games where he was up against some of the better tackles in the country. They were able to get their hands on him and control him effectively with their size and strength. Sweat isn't weak or soft by any means, but I would definitely like to see him add some more muscle to his frame and develop a bit more physicality and nastiness. Sweat is such a good athlete for the position, but he does seem a bit stiff to me overall. I noticed this at the NFL Combine and the on-the-field drill work. He moves very well for his size, but the stiffness shows up when he has to change direction. He's not a naturally twitchy athlete and is better when he's going forward as opposed to having to change direction and move laterally. He also doesn't consistently show the ability to bend, dip his shoulder, and get around the edge. His height plays a part in this because he's just a really tall guy. He's at his best though when he's able to use his excellent get-off and length to beat tackles around the edge and get to the quarterback. Those are his best skills and he'll need some work in the other areas. Also, he must improve using his hands to keep linemen from getting into his frame and controlling him. Sweat doesn't have a go-to pass rush move and is somewhat predictable in his pass rush. When his first move doesn't work, he doesn't really seem to have a plan or any counters. That being said, I think NFL coaching will help him tremendously in this area. I don't see Sweat as a guy that'll be playing on the interior often, if at all. He just doesn't have the size or strength to hold up inside. Sweat is strictly an edge guy as of right now. As far as his coverage skills go, I think he has the athleticism and enough change of direction to play coverage occasionally, but this is something that should probably be limited to buzzing out in the flat or dropping into an underneath zone when there's pressure on. Overall, I like what Sweat brings to the table. He's an incredibly tall and long athlete. He possesses excellent get-off, and he ran a 4.41 in the 40, so we know he can run with the best of them. He's not overly strong and physical at the point of attack, but he's not terrible in that area either. This is definitely an area that can be improved upon. Sweat shows a lot of good things, but he also has some room for improvement. I feel like if he's coached up properly, he could be a very solid defensive end in the NFL. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, leave a comment down below in the comment section and let me know which player I should do a video on next. Also, don't forget to share this video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.